Hi, everyone. Welcome to Flow Network. We are on week 3 of the Flow Content Creation Challenge, and we have the Leaders Live Roundtable coming right up. I'm so excited to be introducing these wonderful way showers and leaders. We're all going to have a beautiful discussion on vision. It's going to be very powerful. Stay tuned. All right, welcome back. So let's bring the leaders into the room and have a beautiful discussion. Welcome, Rome. Welcome, Tim and Sharon. Welcome, Amy. Welcome, Cynthia. And Sunny has made it from the New Earth Project. Welcome, everybody. So, vision. Vision is a powerful thing. Last week we talked about values. Values and vision go together hand in hand. And here at Flow Network, we say, you are the broadcaster. We are the broadcaster. In other words, we are the creators of our reality, and we are co-creating our reality based off of our focus and where we are putting our focus and our energy and our intention. So having our aligned values, week 1, we started with gratitude. That's a high frequency to keep us anchored and continuing to have moments to be grateful for. And values, having our values aligned to, our integrity and what's true for us, and our vision, and having those two together, ultimately for me, is about our focus and where we're putting our focus. And as the creators of our reality, what we focus on expands and grows. So my idea of vision and holding a vision has changed slightly, especially during the COVID and pandemic times, because I had a plan before all that happened. And, I kind of anticipated that we were going to be going through some rough patches in our future. And a Flow Network is very much a part of my vision that I had as leading leaders and being a part of leaders leading this new world that we're creating together. But I wasn't anticipating exactly everything that went on. And so for me, I used to hold a very strict, firm vision of okay, this is what's going to happen. And these are the things that I'm going to need. And I've really shifted a lot to have an inner vision of what it is I want to feel for myself in the future. And, Tim and Sharon and I, we've had a lot of these conversations about, what do I want to feel? What is it that I need to feel inside? Contentment, peace, gratitude, all of these things. And, so holding a vision is we can have some sort of idea of what we think that might be for ourselves in the future. And then as we evolve and expand, those things can change. So I've definitely opened up flexibility for how I hold vision. So we're going to talk to everyone here to just share about their vision, whether it's for your vision in your business, your vision in your life, or both, what vision means to you, just whatever is flowing for you at this time. And I'm just going to finish by saying, before we throw it over, that this Leaders Roundtable is a vision that I've had for a number of years now. And so my heart is just feeling so full to bring all these beautiful people together, and also the generations. It's really one of my values, is to bring all these generations together because it's beautiful just to learn from all of the generations. We have somebody else joining us. Jennifer, I'm just going to bring you in as well. So we're going to start with Tim. Tim, we'd love to hear from you.
Vision. Well, I'm co-founder of Flow Network, and vision for me, it very much, I would agree with you, Sarah, is the idea of having a number of people in different age groups, different gender, which we've focused on quite a bit. And my vision is about feeling really the huge joy that comes from actually being of service. And we've always called that raising consciousness. So raising consciousness relative to, and Dr. David Hawkins does a great job in his scale of consciousness to be able to go and say it's joy, peace, and holding that with the understanding that as I hold that there's going to be some stuff that comes up, which a couple of times I've actually shown a little hand puppet idea that we're up here. And the idea is, in an interdependent community such as this, there's an opportunity to be able to go and get some assistance, get some help, get some reframe, get some love, and share that so that we actually create this, what we call an internal network effect. And because we're all connected, and it's different than the external network effect that typically is the tech play, this is the internal network effect, which is heart to heart to heart to heart to heart to all the beings on the planet, and just raising that vibe. I think that was your term, raising the vibe.
Raising the vibe. If we have to bring this up, I do have it handy, Tim. So your little hand model there.
Yeah, the little hand model, which
is what we like to use.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's there if we need to talk to it.
Yeah, and I just want to be quick because there's a lot of people. So there's what I have to say. Vision for me is raising consciousness, which is resonance, which is going higher on the scale of consciousness. That's Hawkins scale, and then recognizing that to accomplish that, we have to deal with the stuff at the bottom. Which, interestingly enough, in the years I've studied his work, which is about 15 years, there's a lot talked about that. But what I found really important is to tie those two things together. Because if you want to actually hold joy, you got to let go of fear.
Yeah, I'm just going to add before we bring it over to Sharon, that was a game changer for me. And I know we've shared it with a couple other people in the community, that the correlation of our height of achievement and our depth of engagement is at the same time. And just the way you explained it and tied it into all that, it was just one of those awesome aha moments for me.
Yeah, it's not particularly obvious, but it happens instantaneously, and it happens relative to who I am and how I perceive the world, which is why most people don't talk about it, because they can't connect those dots. But what the heck? So yes, thank you for making that point. And I always find it fun to be able to go and show that to people, and to get the eyeballs going, what?
So fun. We made mugs out of it.
Yes. Oh yeah. Rock
and
on
t-shirts.
merch.
And Rome made us beautiful hats.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, Sharon, what about you? What do you have to say about vision?
Vision for me is about the trajectory that I set. It more than anything. So my background is education. I started learning how to help people learn long time ago, back in the 80s. And I just happened to stumble into this amazing programming when I was still doing my undergraduate degree at university. And it was all based on what is now called complexity science. But back in the 80s, that wasn't really even a science yet. So it was a philosophy. And everything in my life made sense. And I moved, it gave me permission to move away from the world that I was raised in about, you set a plan and you follow that plan and you push through no matter what, and you make the outside world be the way you want it to be. Well, I got to tell you, that never worked in the 60s, 70s, or 80s, and it sure is not working now. The world doesn't work that way. We cannot control that. This is where we are a system of complex systems, and the world is a system of complex systems. We can choose a trajectory. We can choose a place that we can look at, and we can choose a focus that raises us. And for me, that's what my vision is. And the specifics of my vision have changed. I started as an educator, and now I work in business. And now I'm in cancer treatment, so I'm not even really working full time right now. And a lot of the times especially this past year, have been absorbed in that treatment. It's taking over more and more of my space. But having this vision, which hasn't changed, my vision, I realized way back in the 80s that what I do as an educator is to help raise people's consciousness about who they are and how they can be in the world and what is important to them. And that is what I do in business now. That's what I do when I'm in the chemo suite. That's what I try to do when things are happening to me, which, people say, oh, you're so unflappable. Not so much when sharp things are being stuck inside me. I'm a little less unflappable, but that trajectory keeps me going. And it keeps me engaged, and the combination of my values and my vision, I really don't know where I'd be at this point, literally in my life. Everyone would be needing to put me far away from them because I'd be miserable. So that's what vision does for me. That's how I use it when I work with business owners to help them, It's about trajectory. We can't plan anything right now. We have to respond. We can choose where we want to go and then listen to our feedback.
Yeah, well said. Focus again is the name of the game, and you've definitely been inspiring. Definitely something you wouldn't choose doing this Dance with Cancer, but you're inspiring in how you're able to focus and keep moving through that.
Thank you.
Rome, I believe
Sarah.
you're next. Let's go, Rome.
Hi, guys. Thank you, everybody, for making this space. This is great. I do appreciate it, Sarah. This is fantastic. I love your vision. Vision for me, the ability to think or plan the future with creativity or wisdom. I guess that's a pretty good way to break it down. My vision certainly has changed dramatically in the last, I say, about 4 years after my awakening. I always had a little bit of a vision, being an artist and having that project manager background. You have to have some vision with those kind of things. But vision as far as like life's journey, life's path, that has completely changed for me recently. And I am very grateful for the vision that has been given me. I think I guess it would be a gift or a skill, maybe. It's certainly something that you can work on. I think with practice, you can get better with it. And I think without it, you're just, meandering through the dark. So it's very important for me, vision. And I think I use it more often than I want to give it credit for. But in the day-to-day life, especially being an intuitive, it's just part of the day process now. It's you see things set before you, you can make your adjustments, and but for the most part, the vision that you have is the path that you create. So again, I talk a lot about putting attention on things, and certainly we have that strength to be able to put attention on anything that we want to be involved in and make a vision for it. Just a little bit of progress and effort, it could come true. But yeah, thank you very much for the time to talk about it, though.
Yeah, beautiful. And if we have time, I'd love to just have a discussion after everyone sort of shared a little bit. But I do, obviously, there's a lot of us here today, which is wonderful. So I believe, Amy, you are next.
I am next. And this is so exciting. I love seeing all these faces that I have never seen before, and I'm meeting everyone for the first time. So thank you, Sarah, for inviting me. And thank you for allowing me to share this space with all of you so I get to know different points of view on what vision is to other people. My vision seems to change on like a daily basis. There's an underlying sort of theme to it all, but it kind of I'm going with the flow. So when Rome is saying meandering through the dark, I feel like I'm doing that sometimes, right? Like you're just trying to put your foot in one world, but right now I'm sort of straddling two, which is one, I was just making some notes. So allowing, which is my word of the year, allow it to be. And then like that making thing, because my 3D vision is still in there, because we're raised on set a goal, make it happen, like you said, Sharon, right? So I'm trying to move in. I'm doing my best to move into the allowing state, which I think my sons, being in their 20s, are much better at than me, but I'm getting there. And as we were talking, I was thinking about a course that I went to. I can't remember. It was so long ago, I can't remember. But they had a little saying that said, set your intention, give it some attention, and then there's no tension. Right? So I am focusing on the magazine that I've created out of COVID. That's how my vision changed. I was working for a company as their director of joy. We were talking about it earlier. And then that contract ended. So then what do I do in my 50s? I'm trying to think. I seem to be really overqualified for a lot of the positions that are out there. So I decided to become my own director of joy with the magazine and work with the energy and psychology of color. So my vision right now is color, energy, in supporting entrepreneurs, like creative professionals, to become thriving entrepreneurs. And in doing so, bring my vision to life.
Beautiful. I love that, Amy. We are definitely very aligned in the vision, and we've actually just reconnected after maybe a couple years, a year, but we studied with color together, which colors.
You were my teacher.
I was your teacher, and it was such a fun, I could hardly call that work.
Class.
That was play. We had such a beautiful, beautiful time. And I love what you're saying. And as you were talking about the word allow, I just want to jump in with this other beautiful model that we co-created with Tim and Sharon about the 3D, or the old world, and the 5D and the new world. And we have this fun little model, but you can see on the right side in level 4 or 5, the art of is understanding our powers within us. And it's about accepting and allowing. And those two words we feel are key to flow. And, when we're straddling the words, the jump point of evolution in the middle there, we can feel this push pull. And that happens when parts of our old self or parts of our old world are like trying to pull us back, and our vision is trying to guide us through this dark forest.
Oh my God. It's like a constant tug of war in my head.
Yeah. So you're definitely, I'm sure if you're watching this live, feel free to comment if this sounds like you at all, because you're definitely not alone. And that's why we feel conscious community is so, so important, because when you're navigating that dark forest, sometimes up is down and down is up. And I believe we're all born with a special and sacred vision inside of us. And, that's that heart pulling us towards something. And when we can sometimes are like lost in the dark and there's all this old world stuff around us, we can just get disoriented and sometimes lose our vision. So that's why we're here on Flow Network. We say when we get up and share our vision online, and this is how we can connect to people, we can literally be a survival guide for somebody else. And we never know who's going to tune in and when. And you spoke about your sons, Amy, and we have 18-year-olds, Sunny and Jake, which I'm looking forward to hearing you guys towards the end. And again, it's just beautiful to have all these generations. It's such a powerful thing. So Anthea, I believe you're up next. We'd love to hear from you, Anthea.
Yes, thank you. Great to be here. So like others, for me, vision is definitely changing and evolving. It was a tool that I used a lot in business, and I continue to use. And through the vision tool and through sharing it, what made our business go to the next level, the previous business that I owned, was when we really started engaging people around the vision. So it wasn't just living in my head and my partner's head, but we are actually putting it out into the world and making it just live and breathe at a very deep level in our organization. And so it was really being aware that we needed to engage people around the vision. And in doing that, that's when we created more space in our personal lives. We were able to just continue and expand and grow at a level that we hadn't experienced before. And that's what led to ultimately selling that business and creating a new business. And the new business is all based on vision. And it's helping business owners share their vision with others. And as you just said, Sarah, around, sharing in a community of people who want to be part of it and can contribute to that. That's now where that's what I'm creating in this next business and this next chapter of my life. So, and as I do that in business, it is also opening up so much in my life as well. They're very interconnected, of course. And, it's something that Sharon and I have talked about in the past, is that the business should always be a vehicle for our lives and who we are and who we're meant to be on this planet. And so, yeah, there's so many amazing things happening personally as well. even, you know, how I navigated the loss of my father a few months ago. And, you know, I was able to do that with much more grace and acceptance than I would have otherwise if I hadn't, you know, opened myself up to a vision of continued growth and expansion. So, yeah, so that's what vision looks like for me. And again, thanks for the opportunity to be here today.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for sharing that. I love what you said about how your vision and your business is a vehicle for your life. And when we do face those challenges and we're going through different levels of grief, it's like you said, that's what keeps us going, and that's what pulls us through. So that's a powerful point. Jennifer, I believe you will be next.
Awesome. So much what everyone is saying resonates with my heart on so many different levels. As an intuitive business mentor, everything that Anthea is talking about, just like, yes, 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 is what I was saying inside. I find that the people that I'm connecting with are all the people who have this beautiful purpose, and they see that their business is a vehicle for bringing the purpose to life. And for me, it's interesting hearing how everyone's saying how, you know, your vision changes a little bit. And so what comes up for me is like, there's this energy of the spark of this purpose that we feel pulling inside of us. And the vision is the way that we're expressing it for where we are in our journey in that moment. And so it just evolves as we evolve. And for me, my vision is for seeing 1 million people to become more aware of their potential, connect in with their soul, and expand their awareness. And so I'm on a mission to teach 1 million people how to check their inner battery as a tool to do that. And so when Anthea is talking about how, you know, getting people engaged with that and having it expand and the ripple effect, that's the fuel. That's the fuel for our vision, is that seeing the impact that it begins to have on others. And it's like, yes, this is the energy we're meant to like shine in the world. So that's what vision is for me.
Love it. Love it. Love it so much. And we had a powerful talk about checking your battery early on in Flow Network when I was kind of first getting back online. So it's great to have you back in the space and just sharing your energy. And our vision is definitely to reach millions as well. So it's just awesome once we surrender to the heart and let it pull us, who we magnetically attract around us. And we can really amplify and accelerate our vision and mission when we align with others. And that is a powerful thing.
Thank you.
So Sunny and then Jake, do you guys want to share for us what your vision and what that means?
Yeah, so vision plays a super crucial role within the creation process. Vision, it gives us that almost like a track to run on, something that we can see and look forward to creating. And my visions have changed very much over my short life. Whenever I was younger, I wanted to be like multi-millionaire and like have all this stuff and like be in like big yachts and stuff like that. But as I got older and got into high school and stuff, my vision started to change quite a bit, and it started to shift more towards helping people, especially going through that awakening process, raising their consciousness, and overall just bringing more positive, uplifting emotions into the world, such as love, joy, and hope. And around 2020 is whenever right around the beginning of 2020, when things started to go down in the world, is where I realized, I was like, wait a minute, like I can help like a lot of people, like, and then like I could help so many people like through this time, because so many people are going through a tough time right now. And so then that's when I started creating content on Instagram and TikTok. And I just had this vision of just uniting with all these different creators and like hosting all these cool different events and things like that. And kind of like to sum things up here is vision having a vision is so crucial. It can generate so many positive and uplifting emotions for us. It gives us hope, and that hope is what helps us move forward with our vision and creating those goals, and just allowing for those goals to be created is that hope that's generated from having that vision.
Thank you, Sarah, for giving me the space to speak my thoughts. But vision to me, like Sunny said, like it gives you that track to run on. Like visualizing your goals is like one of the most like important assets that you can have as a human being. Because for us, we all have this vision of like New Earth or Flow Network, and we all have this vision of our 5D selves. And without having that, you wouldn't make the right choices. Like for me, when I say fifth density self, I think of like a love-based, heart-centered self. And for me personally, it allows me, like having this vision of myself allows me to be able to make the right choices on the day-to-day basis at any point in the day. So say someone's trying to trigger my emotions, I could respond, or I could respond with my ego, or I could respond with the love-based center, which it really makes you conscious of your thoughts on a day-to-day basis. And having a vision, ultimately, it's ultimately one of the biggest assets, just because you can keep on track and you can keep projecting yourself, and it gives you that momentum that you need in order to strive for greatness and strive for what you want to achieve. Having the vision is your end goal, and it sets you up so that you're able to achieve it, and you can stay your course and stay on track.
Beautiful. Thank you. Well, we're very aligned, all of us. Isn't it amazing? And many of us have never met or spoke to one another. And this, for me, definitely speaks to the power of pull. Everyone, I think, used that word pull, or feeling like we're on some sort of track. And, nothing is certain. And yet we're stepping into this completely new way of being. And all of what used to work in the past, and most of what used to work in the past, like some of us said push, some of us said like reacting, with our ego, it's just not working anymore. And I thought that I would put up this graphic because a lot of us use these words that are on this graphic and image. And we created this as a powerful way to triangulate and have a contextual conversation. Because, we can all say words and they can mean different things. And this is just a really powerful way for us to align even deeper. And that is why it was created. And Tim, I thought maybe if you want to speak to this, because this was really your work for working with businesses in scaling consciousness for the last 20 plus years with Sharon, if you wanted to kind of riff off of this a little bit.
Well, thank you very much. Yes, the 5 levels was something that we created about 20 years ago, and we used it to get executive teams and leadership teams on the same page. So it was massively helpful to give what there is on the left is level 1, and move from left to right, level 1, level 2, level 3, 4, 5. And when we used to use it with businesses that were all kinds of different businesses, it was helpful to be able to identify, or help people identify where they were and then where their team was. And without a doubt, the executive that hired us would identify themselves as level 4 or 5. Now, we didn't at the time have flow responder and lightning bolt catcher at the top there. We were using more business terms, but they would identify themselves as level 4 or 5. And then they would identify the people who they thought were the problems over at level 1 and 2 or 3 or something. And we'd help them actually go through this process. And then having gone through that process, we'd always reframe it and help them reframe, saying the good news is we know before even starting where the issue is. And the issue typically is with all the players. So all the players need to look at, am I really at level 4 or 5? Or I'd like to be at level 4 or 5 and I'm actually stuck at level 1 or 2 or 3. And and usually that opened up the conversation because it provided people the opportunity to own their stuff. Because at the left side, we're saying we're being pushed unconsciously. And then we start to push back, or we're pushing ourselves at level 2 forward. And then at level 3, we're in push-pull. But the point with what it is to be a human being is we're attractors, we're magnets, and we're also being pulled by, if you want, our higher self or a blueprint, which is over on level 5. So at any point in time, we can be in every one of those categories, which is helpful to be able to go and help people triangulate, saying, okay, right this second, I might be stuck on the left side and I want to get to the right side. So what do I do about that? How do I actually change the situation? And we always, the whole purpose was always to get into an I type of a conversation rather than blaming other people for all the problems. And usually when we came into a situation, the leaders were always really clear that the problem wasn't them, it was somebody else. So this was a game changer every single time we worked with businesses, small, medium, largest, 600 million or something. And small, it would be like, doesn't matter how small, because everyone as a leader thinks like a leader and thinks in similar ways. So the idea is to be able to understand on the left side, the jump point evolution point there, we used to call the wall of complexity in between level 3 and 4. But on the left side, we've all really been schooled in school, in business, from leaders. We need to actually go and get stuff done. So it's a give and take world. So I'm actually going to give some of my stuff, I'm going to give my energy, and then I'm going to take it back. Or I'm going to give my personal power, then I'm going to take it back. Or I'm going to give a service, then I'm going to take money for it. And what we help people learn is to shift on the right side. What you're doing is you're sharing yourself and you're sharing your gifts, and you're just a conduit for those gifts. And then you can start to receive. And once you actually start to understand that on the right side, it's more about an art as opposed to the science of business. Life is really an art. And science has done a really great job of explaining business and how it works, but they haven't really helped us get over to the right-hand side as quickly as I would have liked it. So we actually created this model to help people literally get on the same page. I could go for literally.
Yes, you could go for days.
Yeah.
And we do have literally probably a day's worth or more of content on our YouTube channel where you can hear more of all the wonderful insights. But while we have everyone else here, does anybody else want to speak to that model or have any sort of something they feel pulled or called to share? I kind of want to open this up to a conversation.
I have an idea.
Okay, we'll do.
I was just thinking about this when Jennifer was talking. It's important to remember how important your own vision is. We're so influenced these days, right? Our thoughts, our beliefs, what we're led, the media. So I was just thinking to myself, I wonder how much of our vision is actually our own vision. I mean, on an individual basis, but I mean, when you come into say topics of politics or something like that, right? How much of that is like given to you, and how much of that is your own thoughts?
Yeah.
So I just wanted to I don't know why I want to bring that up. I just thought it was important to keep to your own vision, right? I guess it goes back to what we were talking about last week about values and morals and have not, and everything's connected.
That's right. Yeah. We're all connected, and I love you bringing that point up, because also part of the vision of Flow Network, my background is in television broadcasting, and I worked in the mainstream broadcasting industry and ultimately left because it wasn't aligned with my values. And I really got tired of mostly fear-based content. And I thought, well, why don't I first it started off of I'll have my own TV show. And then it was like, well, why don't I take it and make my own network? And, it's a network of conscious creators where we all have an equal voice, and we're making flow-based content, which is based off of love. Because like you said, we were so conditioned to be suggestible and to be influenced. And the broadcast media very much influenced us with their marketing about this is what you need to buy to be cool. Like Sunny, you said, we had these visions. I need to be a millionaire because that's what makes me successful. Yeah. And once I'm on my yacht, then I've made it. And we know that isn't really how the world works, because it's about how we feel inside and feeling our fulfillment inside. So I love that you brought that up, because it really does tie in my vision and what we're doing here as we are all broadcasting a powerful way for others who are looking, because some people are kind of waking up to, oh yeah, I don't really want to keep tuning into the news anymore. And so where can I tune into, and where can I see like a big beacon of light, of lights, of many lights? And that's why I'm just so passionate about inspiring other leaders to get on video. And more than that is to come together, because I think, I think I said this in other broadcasts where they say content is king and you got to have so much content. Well, there's somebody sent me a message like 50,000 hours of video are being uploaded every day. And it might even be more than that if we look at all the platforms. We are having an information fire hose of content out there. And there's just so much to consume. So for me, the next level and the next part of the vision is context. Context is queen. How can we come together? And this is bringing the more yin quality of leadership to the party of let's tie a story together of a diverse backgrounds, generations, genders, so that we're weaving a story of all of and celebrating our diversity and our differences. And that is, thank you so much for bringing that up. And Sunny, I know you had your hand up, and I just want to address a comment here from somebody saying, it was Amy actually, who are these brilliant young men here? So
Yes.
Sunny is the founder of the New Earth Project. So obviously the New Earth is all about the vision of the future. And I don't want to put you on the spot, Sunny, but I will invite you, if you're up for it, to lead us in a very short meditation like you do on your Wednesdays broadcast. Sunny has a broadcast Wednesdays on YouTube that he does with his group. And you really are really great, Sunny, and the words escape me, at inviting people to feel the feeling of what that new earth is. And when we gather in group and we come together energetically and bring that feeling together, it is so powerful, and it literally changes our reality. So Sunny, if you want to talk, and then maybe we'll see if anybody else has to talk, and we'll end with that meditation before we close out.
Sounds great. Thank you for those words, Sarah. There. Thank you so much. But yeah, going into it, that graphic, just what the image that popped in my mind in correlation with vision of it. Oh yes, we will pull it up real quick. So level 5 with being pulled, what popped in my mind is, so whenever we set that vision, where we get set on a trajectory, a track, and how I'm like imagining it is, so like that vision is like kind of at the end, and you're on the track, and it's like that the end is like a big magnet, and it's like it's slowly pulling your being towards whatever your vision is.
Yep.
That's all I wanted to share.
Love it. Does anybody else have anything they want to share before we finish with a beautiful meditation by Sunny? Sharon.
I just wanted to say thank you. This is the Flow Network and the work that we've done at Lightcore, and the work that I did as an educator before that, and even the work that we did as working musicians. My whole entire adult life has been about this. And to be at this phase in my life and be able to sit in conversations like this with people like you is a huge gift.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for all your comments. And if you're watching the replay, please feel free to comment. We check everything. A part of my vision extension I just want to share for all the leaders that are here is that we would love if you shared this in your communities, and shared, like, after this broadcast, what we do is we invite all of our communities to share their message on vision, so we can hear their voice. And also, it's also about reflecting and getting us thinking about these things as well, and really understanding that we're not alone. We're not alone in going through the dark. We're not alone in sometimes losing hope. And when we start to just engage in our communities, like you said, Anthea, vision is so much like, how do we get it out of our head, and how do we get it out there? And a lot of our barriers are like feeling like we're crazy, or feeling like, we want to make everything perfect before we get it out. And we can't waste time doing that anymore. We just need to realize we're all humans, and we're all figuring it out as we go. And so if anybody feels called, if it's aligned to your vision, to invite your communities to get on video and make video and, share the Flow Network and all of that. We would so appreciate that so much. So share into the Flow Network community Facebook group your videos on vision, 1 to 3 minutes, whatever flows for you, hashtag flow content creation, because we're going to do a fun draw. We need to keep things fun. We're going to do a fun draw with everyone who participates, and you will get a mug as well as some other giveaways. Who doesn't want a UBU mug? And there's a Documenting Evolution logo with a fun unicorn on the back. Because that's really what Flow Network was sparked out of, this idea of we're documenting evolution. This is the most epic jump point of evolution we are all facing right now. And no one knows for sure what it's going to look like. So we are documenting it as we go. We are building the bridge as we walk on it. And New Earth Project. Sunny, would you guide us into your beautiful meditations at this point in time? Would be wonderful.
It would be.
Yes, I would love to. And thank you for allowing me to lead this meditation.
You are the future of our leadership, your generation.
Yeah, thank you. So just allow yourself to relax, move those shoulders a little bit, move your neck a little bit, let out a nice little sigh. Allow your body to relax, your toes, fingers, legs. And begin by slowing your breath down. And allowing yourself to feel into your breath. And as each breath you take, feel yourself becoming more and more relaxed. Now, I would like for you to imagine a rainbow ball of light floating just above your head. Spinning around. As this ball of light begins to move down through your crown, to your third eye, feel the healing energy that this ball brings to your being. Now, as the rainbow ball of light begins to move down through your throat, into your heart, feel all the love that this light emanates. And all of the love that's pouring out of your heart. Now feel this rainbow ball of light moving down into your solar plexus, activating your DNA, moving down into your sacral, finally into your roots, connecting all of the energy points throughout your body. And allow yourself to sit with this energy, this feeling for a little while. Now focus on your being, connecting with Mother Gaia. Feel your energy going all the way from your crown, down through your roots, and down through your feet, into the earth. Imagine that energy going straight through the core of the earth. Now I would like for you to imagine what you see when you hear the words New Earth. What vision do you hold for this new world, this new Earth? How does it make you feel? What emotions does this new world produce for you? Focus and hold on those emotions. Hold that vision. Feel those emotions throughout your being. Feel it in your heart. Hold on to it just for a little longer. When you feel called to, start to come back, move your shoulders a little bit. When you feel called to, open your eyes. And remember, this new Earth is always here. You can always return to it at any time.
Beautiful, Sunny. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Coming together and bringing our focus to the emotions that we feel for New Earth is such a powerful thing. And, our emotions fuel our vision. So thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you for everybody in the comments, on the replay. Check out all the leaders on here. Feel free to put in the comments your business page and what your exciting projects are, and just add it all together. So that's it, everyone. Have a wonderful week, and we really look forward to seeing all your videos on vision. Much love to everybody. We'll see you next time. For now, we like to say, Flover and out.
Over and out.
Flow for and out.
Just keep swimming, just keep swimming, just keep swimming, swimming, swimming.
Looking for a conscious community, we invite you to Flow Network 99. Wake up, show up, light up, and let's flow, baby.